안녕하세요, 여러분. This is my first video ever, so I will try to make it interesting, but it will probably have a lot of flow. I want to explain how I use Obsidian to study Korean. Obsidian is a note-taking app where you can write your note in Markdown and it renders them in HTML, so you can make links to other notes in Obsidian or to web pages on the internet. And overall, it's a little bit like your own personal wiki. I really like wikis, so right. And this is my main page for Korean. It gives me an overview of things I'm doing. So this is all the grammar resources I use, either books or web pages. This is the grammar point I'm studying. And here are the exercises I could do. So I use emojis a lot. Here it's ready to be done. Here it's an exercise I've already started but not finished yet. And there it's the few exercises I already finished. And I also have lots of vocabulary cards sorted by frequency. So the more star, the more frequent the word is according to the dictionary. And I like to change the color of the card depending on the frequency too. And there I have their status in Anki. So either I already put them in Anki or not. Anki is another tool very useful when you're learning a foreign language or when you're trying to remember anything, actually, because it's also used by medicine students. They have a lot of stuff to remember. So it's a spaced repetition software, and I put my vocabulary card in Anki to review them and to try to remember the words. And the last column is Hanja, which are Chinese characters, because a lot of vocabulary in Korean comes from Chinese. So you can also trace back the words from their Chinese meaning. And it's useful sometimes because, as you see here, the first part of the word is the same for the three words, but the last part isn't. So it helps you learn vocabulary when you can just not study the shape of the Hanja, but just their meaning and how they link it to Korean vocabulary. And now to go a little bit deeper in the explanation about my usage of Obsidian, I will show you how I translate a little text that I collected on Instagram. So this was a post from Talk Korean with Jay, and it comes, I think, from a news report. It's about the record of hot weather this summer. So there's only a title and 3 little sentences. And Jay shared the vocabulary, some audio. He recorded himself reading the text, and he also gave the English translation, but I tried not to use it. And so I prepared that a few weeks ago, and now I'm ready to translate it. I won't go into detail about the plugin I use. Here the things you see are almost vanilla Obsidian, but when I translate the text, actually there's a lot of plugin that I use, so maybe I will do another video for that. And here I have opened the note twice, once in Markdown and the one rendered, because it's more convenient like that, and I will make a little more space here. So from the vocabulary, there's a few words I already know, so that one, that one, that one, and here, this, and that, right. So I should be able to understand the text almost already, but the words I'm missing are useful ones for the understanding of the text. First one is this one, and it translated it as ever. So here in this sentence is it's like the hottest ever, but I want to go a little bit deeper and maybe make some research about that word. And so I clicked and created a new note. That's where the magic with the plugin is. And the plugin I use to do that is called Quick Add. The thing is that Quick Add doesn't do the nice links. So here the link is nice. And so I have a new note for that word. I take the word like that, and now I search it in the French-Korean dictionary, and actually the meaning is a little bit different from what is said. It's like for a long time or for a few generations, and I can see why it's translated by ever in English in this text, but the meaning is not exactly that. And I take the anja, and it was a 1-star word. And now for that part, it's also a little bit of magic. I use templater to transform it using the data I've got here to something nicer, especially when we're rendered like that. So here I have the anja, and here I have the stars. So this is almost done. I just need to add this, because it's a 1-star word. I could have this filled automatically too, but didn't do it yet. And that's it. I can close it now. So here is my link, and here, when I go over the word, I have my little card. So I can do that for all the vocabulary, and I will have little notes like that for words I don't already know. Next word, that one, and same process, new card, new word, this one is a 2-star word. So I put the anja, and then I take the definitions, make things a little bit prettier, and do some magic for that part. So I have a shortcut, right? And now this one was a 2-star word, so 2-star. Right. And this knot is finished too. And so you see I am using the plugin QuickAdd, and because the name of the it takes only the name of the word, and I have to change it so it's the same note, but it's displayed as the second part of the link here. Okay, so that one is done too. And I don't want to do all the words one by one. I think you got the idea now. So actually I've prepared some of the words already. And here we have another word, and I can't click that. So it was a weather agency. And the sentence is done with all the vocabulary that Jay gave us, but there's still a word I don't know, and it's not in the vocabulary. I don't know why. Maybe it's very common, but I don't know it, so I will make a card too. And yes, it's a very common word that I don't know yet. And so Anja, 3-star word, and it means temperature. Make things pretty, do some magic. And this too. We have a nice new card. Oh, and we need to change the link here. But the problem is that I don't know that word yet, but I already know that word, which is listed here as temperature. So we have in the same text 2 words meaning the same thing. It's not uncommon in Korean. There's a lot of synonyms, and here I will have to dig a little deeper to understand the nuance and why they are both used in the same sentence. So I'll make a card for that too, even if I already know it. Actually, I already have it in Anki, even if it's not in Obsidian yet. So I take the Anja here. It's also a 3-star word, and it's also mean temperature. And yes, the magic, the other magic, and the non-magic here. Right, so I have 2 cards now for the same meaning. And they are both words are very common. And I need to go a little bit deeper in that. So I will put a note for myself here. Question. I will write the question in English. Usually I write it in French, but what is the difference between 기온 and 온도? They share the same syllable. The last syllable from that word is the first syllable from that one. So really, it must be something about nuance. And so here I used a special syntax to make this little box. It's called callout, and it's not a plugin or anything like that. This one is defined in Obsidian. You can use it as it is. Those ones, the other box, they have the same syntax here. The one from Instagram, the one for the vocabulary, the audio, and the translation. And for them, I used a plugin just to define a color and an icon for them. But yeah, there's a lot of standard callout in Obsidian already, so that's a common thing. And now, so I've made my question, and I will go over the other sentences a little bit quicker. I've already made the cards. Hop. Right, and that one here. So I've made cards for all the vocabulary part, and that one is more a grammar thing. So I have cards for that too, but they are a little bit different, so I will show you. So before showing you, this is like very funny to do, because if I want to read the text, I just, for the word I already know, I don't have to, I just read them like that. And if I forget that this is weather agency, I just go over it and I have the definition here. So it's quite useful like that. And not too difficult to do, I think. It can, if the text is longer, or if there's more word, I don't know, it can take more time, of course, but. So here now, for our last thing, grammar part here. So that was for vocabulary on the left, and here it's for grammar. And it opens a grammar note. So we still have to clean the link here. And now here we can see a grammar note, an empty one. And I won't go into details here, because for grammar I spend more time just looking around, checking everything. So for now I will just do the little card and the associated note. Because for grammar, I always have two cards. One little note here, the one you can see when I go over there, and a more complete one with all the references that I can find and some explanations. So I just leave that like this. And I can check that. Yes, so I finished my translation, and I should be able to read the text now, because every part I didn't know before now have their little cards. and so I can consider it as finished. But if I leave the question here, I may never come to this note again, so I may forget that I have this question here. And for that, I also have some cards. I really like these little cards. And this is a Korean question. So it takes the same sentence here. It puts it there. Oh. Actually, I will make the link to the card, so when I come back to the question, it will be easy for me to just check things. And that's it. I have a nice little card for my question. And here it's not rendering nicely, so I will make it better. Right. So I can now close this because I don't need to edit it anymore. Everything is fine. I can change the status of this card from available to be done, and I skip the part when it's in progress because this time it's done, yeah. And I go back to my main Korean card. Here we can see that the exercise is finished. It's in the finished exercises. And we have some new words. That one. The one, this one I already know it. Because this one is the word for temperature that I already knew. So I change the status. So, but this one is a new word for temperature, and there's a bunch of other new words here too. And now in the grammar points, we have this notes, almost empty. So the status for it is like this little squirrel. It's because I need to collect these things. And like I need to collect little nuts for winter. And we can see that I didn't check any resource yet. And what else? Oh yes, we have a new question here. So if I'm in the mood of searching a little bit, sometimes later I will take this question and dig to understand the nuance between the two words. And I can search any of those fun questions or maybe ask someone somewhere. So that's why I make a list. And I have an overview here of everything that is in progress. I also have a few things that are finished, like that one here, but I can just pop in any exercise, preferably some one that is already in progress so I can finish it, or I can dig into the grammars. And yes, that's a nice overview here. So I didn't explain the plugins I used for the cards, and maybe I should do a little video too about how I actually write the grammar notes, because it's a little bit more complex than the vocabulary notes, and I even use their more advanced usage of some plugins, so maybe I should do that. Anyway, I'll make a list of all the plugins I use in this video in the description, and if you have questions, you can ask in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.